we are going to take a look at the adoption of electronic transmission of election results by the upper chamber of the National Assembly, the Senate. On Tuesday, the Nigerian Senate made a U-turn and adopted the electronic transmission of results for the 2023 and future elections in Nigeria. The transmission of election results is a proviso in Clause 53 of the Electoral Amendment Act that gives INEC the power to transmit results without subjecting to any organ of government. With that brief information, the stage is set for today's edition of our program. And we are privileged to have in our studio a professor. He is Professor Chinedum Ajele. He is a public affairs analyst. I also have in the studio a legal practitioner. He is Barrister Chidi Oso Asubi, a gentleman. Thank you for joining me on the program.
Thank you, Mr. Monitor.
Professor Ajele, let me start with you. The Senate has power to pressure. How do you see it?
Well, I don't think they have a choice. If you look at the name, all we have is independent National Electoral Commission. And so that is to say that they government just like to lay out there. So the idea of that is nothing else. Though Nigeria is a developing country, when you talk about this electronic transmission, the machines, the thing has been on since the 1960s. Precisely in 1964, when America, our seven countries came together in 1964 during the presidential election, the USA, the Venezuela, the Brazil, and so on. So it is so surprising that Nigeria is still moving. So I don't think the idea as, the National Assembly, I don't think they have any choice in accepting it. And I also think one of their reasons for the refusal is because most of them know how they got into that mess. And because with this electronic system, I am sure it will be difficult for them to regulate the people's vote must count. And so that was a fear in the first place. So
Okay, thank you very much. Before we proceed, I want to announce that we have students of Living Television Film Academy who are members of Project. They will be watching this program from the sideline. And now back to you, also as we are discussing electronic transmission of results. And last Tuesday, Nigerians, we are surprised to hear that the Senate, they have made a U-turn. They now say, yes, results of 2023 election can be transmitted electronically. What is your take?
Well, they have no choice in the matter. In fact, the policy was already dictated on that subject long before the amendment was done. So we should have done this. It doesn't paint a good picture of a responsible legislative body that people are clamoring for a particular process that is international, that other nations have advanced and made mistakes and corrected themselves, and Nigeria is just struggling over it. So it's good about the pressure, but it's unfortunate that we made a law in July and in October you are changing it. Anybody that prevaricates does not paint a picture of somebody who knows what he's doing. If you are going to a direction and then you grant to the right, you come out, you grant to the left, you come out. Any objective observer will regard you as not knowing the direction. So I commend them that there are other issues that have to do with the electoral process that are still calling for the legislative intervention.
And what are the issues, if I may ask?
The issue of the direct primaries, indirect primaries is one of the best issues that you see them now, they have now said direct primary.
For the political parties.
Political
because most Nigerians have seen the President Senate as an appendage of the executive. Are they trying to assert themselves, saying that we are independent?
Yeah, I really want to say that because from the outset, the Senate, the National Assembly, then these accepted being the INEC. I think it's something. If I'm very much, I think it is elected because before now it's rather so. Like I said, since the 1960s, this thing has been in process in advanced country. So, and then I wonder why. So what one should ask is why were they delaying? Why were they against the commission? Why? It is because of what has been happening, the type of system we operate in. And that is why they are, because Nigerian election here is not about the matter of choice by the electorate. It is rather a do or die affair. That is why people can kill people. And we are afraid. Most of them are afraid because normally nobody will want to elect them. And that is why they don't want this electronic system, which is going to appear more transparent than what we had expected in the past. So they have no choice, like I've always said, they have no choice than to do that. But I think they will only be selfish and issue.
Okay, thank you. Now, what is supposed to be here? Can you say that there is a crack in the ruling of Progressive Congress? If you can remember, when this issue came up in July, the party directed the senators in the National Assembly, particularly the Senate, to vote against it. And today they are saying that results can be transmitted electronically. Can you please say there is a crack in the ruling party?
Yes, we know that the party has a lot of influence on the state, especially during the early days of Shuler, where the chairman of the party will come to upper chamber, the lower chamber of the National Assembly, call the senators and speak, give them mandate directly on where to go and how to go. That was a very difficult process. But now that we have the chairman of the party now is not as fundamental as rigid as the former chairman. So we can see that the people are able to disagree in certain issues. But let us take note that this amendment of it did not make the electronic transmission sacrosanct. It still gives a window of opportunity for INEC to say that in certain areas that it's not possible that the network system of the other. So it's not yet good enough. We have not reached where we are going in the process. But at least we have made some impact in the center. We have yielded to the pressure of the majority of people. Everybody knows that will checkmate electoral practices because many people come to power through the foul means and not the fair means. So this system, I don't think that we have really gotten to where we want. We ought to be made a mandatory provision of the law and not to leave some discretion to the electoral body. Give one excuse or the other which they will not transmit the results from the polling booth with the speed of light immediately so that the opportunity to manipulate results will be minimal. Please, even if it doesn't ameliorate totally the process of electoral malpractice, to at least reduce it to a minimum level. So that's my input to that.
Okay.
But the party is not that the party is right, it's just that the leadership is now a little more liberal and more democratic than what it used to be when the other man was at the shoe.
Okay, Professor Bill, I'm still going to ask you that same question. I want you to look into your crystal ball and tell us if you can see any crack in the ruling up of this conference.
Well, as it concerns this electronic voting system, I think if you look at what happened immediately after the election between Atiku Abubakar and the sitting president, that would interpret a lot about this agitation of this electronic voting. And we know too well, the man went too far, not too far, he was fighting for his right. And most of us, we saw what he was asking as being real. And because of the quest for governance in Nigeria is due on that extent, and that is why this thing has been. Even when the Dr. Odegal was there, people like us had felt that he was going to make sure that this electronic voting was going to be put in place, considering his position and who he is, and as a person also who has seen it all in terms of education and also has traveled out. Well, I may not blame him so much because if you look around the country, all of our governors, the Senate, or the National Assembly, and so on, in fact, the political vision, they go out and come back. And one would expect that they are coming back to implement what they have said over there. Look around town, all the states in the southeast, you discover that there is nothing right now. So when you talk about crowd, I don't think I'll miss what to say there is. And that is why this is failed. But they've just discovered that there's nothing they can do about it.
They don't have a choice.
They have no choice. Because if actually democracy should be what it is, the government of the people and the people and for the people, then it is left for the people to decide. And this is the decision of the people. But just like my friend Paris has said, they should have made this a sacrosanct. But there are still loopholes here and there. And that loophole could be an escape route for all these bad politicians who wants it at all means and at all means. Until it is made sacrosanct. And then I'm not sure it's going to follow on. Because if they come to say, it happened during Jonathan's death, during Jonathan's time. You remember that at the point, even Jonathan could not vote in his name. That would have been enough to cancel the election. But because of the kind of person he is, couldn't do that. So such a thing cannot so repeat itself. And so what do we do in situations like that? Except allowing whose money is given to take it by the day, the other way around. So they should make this sacrosanct and make sure that the network system goes around.
Okay, thank you. At this point, I want to give an opportunity for students of Living Television Film Academy to ask any question they may consider necessary concerning the subject we are discussing. Anyway, it seems they are not ready. Any question? Now, Barrister Osazubike, I'm sure that you have read Chinua Achebe's last book, There Was a Country. In that very book, he revealed how the 1959 election was rigged by the British in favor of the northern part of the country. And I'm sure that electoral fraud opened the floodgate of electoral malpractices, which has almost become a permanent feature of Nigerian politics. Now, with this electoral transmission of results, is there any way it can reduce electoral fraud in our elections? I know that there cannot be a perfect election in any part of the country, in any part of the world, rather.
Well, the truth is there's nothing that we do as human beings that is totally perfect, inerrant, totally error-free. But what we strive to do is, to a large extent, if, for instance, the critical mass of people are able to vote and their votes reflect in the ultimate result, and nobody will be expecting an El Dorado, a state of perfection in the process. But we expect that by now, there is an expectation of a country that, like Nigeria, by reason of the resources we have, the advancement we have reached in every area of this life, we ought to be that the giant of Africa that we claim to be a base status, to show other smaller countries in Africa that this is how to do things, and they should come here and emulate us. So this system will go a long way, at least to get to a certain percentage. But I assure you that where there is no will, everything is about the heart of a man. When a man is bent on frustrating the process, he will always look for a means of making nonsense of any extant law. But when our orientation has changed, that we know that he oversees, even when we have people who don't even believe in God, they do things right. People enter buses, nobody will be there, they will put the right money, even collect the right change. The thought of fraud is not even, they don't remember it. In those days when we were in primary school, the woman who sells akara, who sells banana, leaves her products in a basin, in a tray, and goes away. You come there, you buy the akara, you raise take your change, put, before the woman comes, the exact amount of her wares, it will be left there and she will carry it. Today, my brother, you leave that thing for the next 5 seconds, and the money, the product, the items will disappear. So the thing is that our life worldview have changed for the worse. The morality has even become worse by the day, so that people no longer want to get to the place of power by following the right process. Even the men of God, who ought to be corrective institutions, are pandering to the whims of politicians, coming to praise them and give them honors, even though they know the man rigged himself into office. So there is a lot of moral decay, and that has also reflected in the electoral process. Ordinarily, this law ought to make an impact in our electoral system.
Okay, thank you very much. At this point, we are going to take a break, and when we come back, issues of the moment continues. back to the program. This is still Issues of the Moment, a current affairs program of Living Television Film Academy here in Aba. Before I ask my discussants further questions, I think the students are now ready with their questions. And before you ask that question, I want to urge you to subscribe to our YouTube channel and watch all these beautiful programs we are dishing out. The students, let's hear from you.
Sir,
introduce yourself first and your department.
I am Divine Boldness Allison, Department of Cinematography. Sir, are we certain that the electronic voting system promised will provide the Nigerian citizens with the results they expect after the election?
Okay, thank you for that beautiful question. Is electronic transmission of results. Professor Ajele, you heard him very well.
Well,
will our vote count in 2023 with electronic transmission of results?
Yes, like I said a little earlier, if the INEC, being an independent body, if they will ensure or make sure that this electronic voting system is going to be sacrosanct and not just, not just a mere word, then it will, vote will count, and that is the essence of it, and that is what every other person is clamoring for. Because unfortunately, you discover that no ordinary man cannot just come out to seek for election, and that is why there is no person that has ever failed to complete whatever tenure, no matter how badly that person had performed, because there is always a system, and they have a way of sneaking themselves through. But with this electronic system, we want to believe our votes will count this time.
Okay, thank you very much, Professor Ajele. Let us take another question from the audience.
Sir, my name is Akoma Kate Inakusi, Department of Script Writing. My question is this. This adoption of electronic transmission of election results, is it in any way going to help do away with the decay in our government, or is it just about having exact election results after every election? Thank you.
Chido's Azubike, I want you to answer that question.
Certainly, if the people elect the right right candidates, it will ultimately affect the standard of governance and the class of people that come to power. So they are correlated. If the process is legitimate, it will surely and certainly produce the right people. Unlike what we have today, let us face ourselves. Let's face the truth. Most people who end up coming to the place of power are, I'm sorry to say it, people that are below par because of the wrong process. You see people who are having a problem about their school certificate, people who say that they falsified their NYSC paper, people who you hear that after being a governor is going to sit for his O-level exam, and there will be all the electronic system will beam on him when he's taking an exam in secondary school and he's as a sitting governor. It's very ridiculous. So when you have people, somebody is a president and there's an argument about the certificate of 1962 bearing passport photograph, and then when we know that at that time they didn't have passport photograph, all those things come and we end up having wrong leaders, and wrong leadership lead to wrong policy. The person cannot grapple with the complexity of the macroeconomy. He cannot really understand the things that he needs to do as a leader. So it surely and certainly relates to the standard and the quality of the elected persons if the process is legitimate. But if it's not legitimate, any fraud can come out and becomes a leader. Then, of course, whatever he is, you cannot give what you don't have. It is what you have that you can give. So if they are related, right electoral process brings right leaders, all things being equal, and also right government, right policies, and the people will rejoice. The Bible said that when the righteous lose, the people will rejoice. But when the righteous is in power, the people
Sir, my name is Obi Michel. I'm from the Department of Computer Engineering and the Website Design. My question is this, is based on the security of this electronic transmission of results. So I want to ask, what measures should INEC put in place to make sure that someone does not infiltrate the system? Because someone can be at his home and invent the software of INEC. So what measures should be put in place? That's my question.
I think that is a very beautiful question. Professor Jele, he is saying that is the INEC server, how do I put it? Is it a proof? That is, can somebody hack into the system? And when you consider what happened in the US in 2016 between Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton, where the Americans are still accusing the Russians of meddling in the election, can a politician with a deep pocket hack the INEC server?
I think that is very possible, especially here in Nigeria. If only the INEC, if the personalities in INEC are men of conscience, who would have really come to serve their nation with open hands, because whoever that must go to equity with clean hands. If there are persons who want to ensure that this country becomes what it is, and just like the name is, the giant of Africa, this country, I think such a thing may not happen. But if you look at what is happening, maybe because of the bad economy and so on, you know when you talk about hacking, it's everywhere. And so it is not ruled out automatically. That is because a lot of people who are studying computers, I'm sorry to say this, some of them are not just studying it to be computer literate or to use it for advancement and development of the nation and for themselves. A lot of them are studying computer to know how to hack into someone else's account, how to become dubious and criminal-minded, and that is why. So it is not ruled out, but it all depends on INEC. There are one or two things, the security measures they put in place, and it will be very impossible for any person to hack into it. It all depends on INEC and how prepared and serious they are.
Thank you very much. Now, Mr. Subike, you are not a politician, and you are aware that results are usually altered at the collation centers. They are altered, they are changed, and in fact, in some cases, results are written in government houses. So with this, do you think that electronic transmission of results will anyway reduce manipulation of figures?
Very, very, very much. It will be, you will see the next election, you will see surprises. You will see surprises. Many high and mighty people who have been having their way will find it difficult. The reason being that if an election is held each party have their party agent. This one has his party, this one has their party agent. And the result is counted. 1, 2, in the full glare of everybody is observing what, and then the result, the form is filled, each party, and is signed. Then the result is transmitted immediately to a central server, to somewhere where, honestly speaking, even if anybody tries to hack it, the truth is that the system will still discover that it was done. Because are you going to what of the physical, because that electronic system will not be unilateral. It won't be that system alone. It will just be in addition to the analog process. The digital system, they go pari passu. So if there is any problem in this one, we say have the physical one. It will be difficult, brother, for anybody to really destroy the. Moreover, we have seen the error that have been done in other nations, as you mentioned, United States, and people have devised methods to checkmate that mistake, to make sure it doesn't repeat itself. The Shakespeare said that to stumble twice over the same stone is a proverbial disgrace. You walk through a place, you stumble, you fall. When you are coming again, you cannot allow that same stone to make you stumble. So we have learned and known what they are doing. So if the hunter continues to shoot without missing. The birds fly without perching. So there must be a means of controlling it. By all, we insist that that electronic system should be used. Let's test run it. Even in Anambra, they are going to do it. We will see that it will make a lot of impact, even if it is not perfect. It is a good development, and everybody should, support it.
Thank you very much. At this point, we are going to take another break, and when we come back, the program continues. Stay tuned. Welcome back to the last lap of issues of the moment, and today we are taking a look at the electronic transmission of election results, which was adopted by the Upper Chamber of the National Assembly on Tuesday this week. Professor Dele, before we went on that briefly, you were itching to say something. You now have an opportunity to do that.
Well, about this electronic system, I think it's a welcome idea. And not just that, I also think people decide time. I think we've learned our lessons all this while. Because if you look at the crop of people and they have our face in various state local governments, even at the national, you know, it looks as if there is a particular college. One of my writers I was able to mention, because in 2014 I was in Guru Jos, National Institute for Strategic Policy and Strategic Studies. And then one of the professors after our certification asked, why is it that during the elections, all these people who are vying for all the various positions are not mandated to go through that process? Because a lot of them don't know what governance is all about. And I think that is why things are happening the way things are going to be. When you talk about this, before now, in one of the elections I was in one of the centers, we discovered that before even distributing this electoral material, the original paper, the original form is stored out and kept by either the local government or the then the original. They remove it even before it gets so that at the end of the day, they write whatever result they want for whosoever. So that is why this electronic, this is very important. And I think it is high time our people wake up from their slumber. This is no more, let it not be politics as usual, because by next year now, money will start exchanging hands of who wants. And you see these politicians, they will stoop so low to even eat with a grape just because they want you to vote for them. They will stand and open fans, wave their hands. If you're buying granite, they'll come there, eat it with you. But the moment they win the election, when you see at their gates, what you see is the beware of lions, no more dogs these days. And these are people, you voted for. They'll become very unreachable. I think this is high time. If this electronic
system is going to work. It will be very, very wonderful. And that is why I think it should be constitutionally endorsed and let it be sacrosanct.
Okay, thank you very much. And before we draw the curtain on today's edition of our program, Barrister Chidoza Azubuike, I want to talk to our people, telling them that in 2023 that their votes will count.
Well, even though I'm
you
not
have 1 minute to do so.
Okay, even though I'm not an INEC, but I want to say within legal perspective, I believe that the next election is going to be much more better than what it used, all things being equal. People should come out and vote. All of us are stakeholders in destiny, political destiny of this nation. So nobody should be discouraged. This electoral, system must advance. No matter wherever we get it up, we continue from there. People should come out. Now your votes will count. You can no longer blame anybody and say, why are we going to do the election? We have already written the result. This is the common slogan, especially in Aba, the average market man. I tell you that the results have not been written. Go there and vote and stay there and watch and observe the results transmitted electronically. The mistakes of the past will now be corrected. That's my charge to all citizens.
Thank you very much, Barrister Azubuike. And with that, we have come to the end of today's edition of Issues of the Moment. We have been discussing the electronic transmission of election results, which was adopted by the Upper Chamber of the National Assembly, the Senate, last Tuesday. I want to thank Professor Chineduma Adele for coming to Issues of the Moment to talk to us. Professor, it's always a pleasure having you on the program.
Thank you.
I also want to thank my brother, Barrister Chidoza Azubuike, for being part of today's edition of the program. God bless you.
Thank you very much.
And for students of Living Television Film Academy, I also thank you for participating in today's edition. My name is Chibezie Ozems. I want to thank you for watching.